What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Getting into this episode of Y&R. So basically, this blackout that they had a power outage because of bad weather. And some strange couples were locked together. First of all, Victoria and Ray. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I see a little bit of chemistry between Victoria and Ray. Not a lot, but a little bit. I just found it a little bit funny how Ray came all the way to Newman Enterprises just to tell Victoria, because apparently one of their warehouses got robbed. And I guess the person who robbed the Newman warehouse was one of the managers that worked there. So Ray came all the way over there just to give her an update on it and told her that they arrested the manager. You could have called her. You could have really picked up the phone and called her and said, oh, we arrested this guy and blah, 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 blah. You could have called her and told her all that. You ain't had to come all the way over there just to tell her that. I honestly hope the writers don't try to go in that direction with Victoria and Ray. And the reason I say that, because they're polar opposite. They're so different. Look at Arturo and Abby. When they were together, Arturo was way out of his league. Not just because Abby was a Newman and an Abbott, and because she had millions of dollars. That was part of it. It was a big part of it. Let me just say that. He was out of his comfort zone with her. He wasn't used to the expensive lifestyle that she lived, obviously, because he never lived that life. So he wasn't used to that. So that's ultimately what destroyed that relationship, and of course him cheating with Mia. But, he just wasn't cut out for her. Because he couldn't match her money, he couldn't match her style, he couldn't match her lifestyle. He couldn't match none of that. So he felt out of his comfort zone. And he just felt like it would never work. I feel the same way about Ray and Victoria. I feel the exact same way. I feel like because she's the CEO of a $1 billion company, she's this high-powered woman, this high-powered mogul, and he's just the detective. They both come from different social circles. They both come from different backgrounds. And, Victoria, she takes life a lot serious. She takes life a little too seriously. She doesn't joke a whole lot. And she's like a mini Victor when it comes to work. She's always at the office, always taking phone calls. You know what I mean? I don't think it would work between her and Ray. I really don't. They're polar opposite. I don't think it would work. And not just because of the social background and the millions that she has and stuff, but it's also because we all know that the Newmans, when it comes to law, they like to color outside the line when it comes to committing certain illegal acts. And, Victoria has committed some illegal crimes over the years, cover-ups, whatever. I don't think Ray would be a good fit for her in that aspect either, because Ray is so law and order. He's, all about law, protect and serve, justice. He's all about those things. I don't think he would match with Victoria because she has no problem going outside the line when it comes to law. I just don't think it would ever work between the two of them. Just to be honest. To be totally blunt, I don't think it would. Like I said, they got a little bit of chemistry, but it's not a whole lot there. So hopefully they don't go down that road. So anyway, moving on from that. Nick and Phyllis. I love the fact that they're, friendly with each other still. And, even though they beef with each other sometimes, they know how to, come back together and be friends. And I like their little stroll down memory lane. I liked it. It just felt like this whole episode with the weather and stuff, it made people get together and analyze each other. Because that's exactly what Phyllis and Nick were doing. They were doing just that, analyzing. Phyllis was basically telling Nick, he's a good guy. It takes him a while to get angry about things, but he does have a bad temper. Just letting him know about himself. She said, he's a little judgmental, because he is. And Nick was letting Phyllis know, like, she comes off as a stone cold bitch, but she really wants family and to be loved and respected and stuff like that. I think them analyzing each other, I think, was spot on in a way. Because Nick is hypocritical. He is judgmental. He is. And Nick realized it because even he figured that out. That's why he asked her that question. Because he is judgmental. He is. He has a certain entitlement to him. But he's not a bad guy. He just, we all got flaws. We all do. We all have our flaws. And, it's either you want to work on certain flaws or you just love the way you are. Some people, they want to work on their flaws. Some people don't. It's up to you. And then, of course, Phyllis had to ask him the major question. Do he still think about them, like, as a couple? She felt like, when they were married, she felt like, was it exhausting for him to be married to her? I remember back when they were first married. And their marriage was a little toxic. They had their good times. They did. They had their good times, but that marriage was toxic as hell. And I always felt like Nick wasn't fully in love with Phyllis. I knew that when they first got married back in, 2007, I knew that marriage wasn't going to last that long. Like, they had a pretty good run, 3 years. That's a pretty good marriage. It's short compared to most, but, obviously his marriage to Sharon, they were married for 10, 11 years. So, I just felt like Nick was never in love with Phyllis. That's how I feel. I feel like he loved her, and I do believe he did, but he married her literally right after his divorce from Sharon. So I always felt like Phyllis was the rebound. And I also felt like he married her because of Summer. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I felt. I felt like it was a lot of reasons he married her, but being in love with her was not one. I felt like he started to love her over time as they were married. But in the beginning, I don't think so. It's clear that Phyllis still has feelings for Nick, and I think Nick still has some residual feelings for her. But I really want to believe Sharon is his forever. That's what I really want to believe. Sharon is his forever. Phyllis, I don't see it. You know what I mean? The thing about Phyllis is I kind of like Phyllis. Some days I kind of don't. I do feel like she has this facade about her, like she wants to be a stone cold bitch and heartless, but deep down, she really wants to be loved. She wants family. She just wants that. You know what I mean? I just think she has a lot of walls up because she's been through a lot in her life. But her and Nick, I just don't want to see them back together because I feel like it would never work. You know what I mean? Like, it would never work. His heart is always going to be with Sharon. No matter what woman Nick ends up with, his heart is always going to be with Sharon. So anyway, moving on from that, Chelsea and Adam, they were tending to Connor and stuff, trying to help him because he was scared when the power went out and stuff. He was scared. That little boy is definitely manipulating. I feel like he is. I feel like he's manipulating Chelsea. I do feel like he's kind of manipulating Adam. But I also believe Adam wants Chelsea back. But he was pissed off at the thought that he would use his own son to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because he felt like he would never use a traumatic time in his son's life to try to get his ex-wife back. I mean, we all know that you can't put nothing past Adam because Adam has done some, crazy stuff in the past. But, he's just letting it be known, like, I would not use my son in that way, My thing is, though, I feel like Chelsea's lying to herself. When it comes to her love for Adam and her love for Nick, Chelsea needs to just admit that her relationship with Nick is as dry as toast. Like, it really is. Like, her and Nick, I feel like she's bored with him. Like, there's no spark between them. There's no oomph. There's no excitement. Everything with their relationship is so routine. It's so mundane. It's like, it's very tedious. That's just how I feel. That's just my opinion. I just feel like they're super boring. I feel like her heart is really with Adam. And it's clear that Adam wants her back. But with Adam, though, I feel like he's trying super hard to be a great dad for Connor because he doesn't want to make the mistakes that Victor made with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't want to do that. He just, he doesn't want to alienate his son. He doesn't want his son ever to grow up with resentment towards him or hatred for him. That's why he's trying to give his son everything he wants. He's trying to be the cool parent. Let him stay up a little late. Have him have a little ice cream before dinner. It's okay to indulge your kid, but do not overdo it. You know what I mean? Like, don't overkill. You still have to have time out. You still have to, have discipline. You still have to have rules. You know what I mean? Don't overindulge, because then they become all spoiled and whatnot, and you don't want that. So anyway, moving on from that, Billy and Amanda, they were sitting there having a good old time at the little bar. Amanda looked like she feeling Billy a little bit. Like, she looked a little enamored by him. I really don't want the two of them together. I mean, I think it'd be weird, but I guess. They have a little chemistry with them. But I still feel like Billy's trying to find himself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Billy, when he went home, when the power came back on, he went home to Victoria. And, she was like, oh, she was happy that he was home, and he was like, I'm glad to be home. But when they hugged, his facial expression told a different story. I think Billy really needs to face whatever demons he's trying to run from. Because like I said yesterday, he has a lot going on. I just feel like whatever's going on in Billy's life, he needs to face it. Like, he needs to go on some type of self-discovery, some type of journey. Like, he needs to reflect on his past and figure out why, like, what happened in his life to make him become a screw-up and self-sabotage. Because if he don't figure that out, he's always going to keep sabotaging his life. Every time stuff good happens in his life, he's going to keep finding ways to mess it up. That's because there's something that happened in his life where he feels like he needs to punish himself, and he needs to stop doing that. Like, figure it out. Till he does that, his life is always going to be in shambles. But anyway, this was a pretty solid episode, though. Hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about today's episode, and I will see y'all all later. Peace.